What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in or watching this later as we put it to Instagram. So today we have an interesting topic. We have two topics that we wanted to talk about. So the first is that we wanted to talk about was the importance of strengthening your upper back muscles and some of the exercises that we can use to promote that good posture and just having that strong upper back. And I know that upper back muscles tend to be a muscle group that can be widely underrepresented in a lot of training programs because it's just not something you might think about as much. It's a lot easier to do the muscles that we tend to like want to show off more, like your chest, your arms, your legs, stuff like that.
Lats.
So absolutely. So I know it's one of the more important muscle groups to everyday life, but unfortunately we definitely see that it tends to
I'm hunching over.
as we have the
Perfect
conversation.
example.
Yeah, so let's kind of just talk about the importance of promoting, like really engaging in a lot of upper back exercises and why
Yeah.
that's important.
I think the biggest thing we talked about before was just in terms of posture, you know. A lot of the days, for most people, you're sitting at a desk, you're sitting in front of a computer, and you're sitting, this is a little bit of representation, but you're sitting like this, like hunched over on the keyboard, like, you know, just typing away,
Absolutely.
getting your work done. So your upper back muscles can probably be included as like a little bit of your shoulders, some traps, some rear delts, a little bit of that upper back as well. And it's so important to do exercises to strengthen that because we spend so much time sitting hunched over, right? How often do you think, I mean, we were just doing it as we were sitting here, and we mentioned, we're like, oh, well, we're sitting here hunched over, you know? So it's the importance of strengthening those muscles so to kind of counterbalance the fact that we sit so much all day.
Yeah, and even if you don't work a job where you're necessarily a sedentary employee, we're all phone people, we're all technology people, and being on your phone and being on these different forms of technology just obviously just promote this upper back posture, this terrible posture, and just like many aspects of our lives now, whether you're at home watching Netflix or whatever aspect of like eating. Some people can hunch over to eat like that. Many aspects of life kind of are not conducive to having good posture, so it's just really important to put a huge emphasis on this. So I have a funny story. So when I got to college, I was in a HEP 100 class, and we were doing a functional assessment test, and my teacher actually called me out, and she like recognized that I had such bad posture because I was only doing chest and not enough back. So after that, I definitely put a bigger emphasis on that, and that is also not only helped my posture, helped my other upper back muscles, but actually helps me in other forms of lifting and stuff like that. It just allows me to have bigger strength gains in my shoulders and chest as well. So that's been super beneficial for sure. So let's talk about a couple of the exercises that we love to kind of promote that good posture and for sure.
Okay, I think a couple that come right off the top of my head that are favorites that I like to use is any type of face pull. So let's say that you can even do them seated, you can do them standing. So I'm standing in front of the cables or in front of a band. I grab a band, one side in each hand, and then I keep my chest nice and upright, and then I pull my shoulders back, pull my elbows back, get a nice big open chest, pinch the shoulders back, and then return. So kind of using that upper back strength, using your shoulders to just stay nice and tall and strengthen that part of your back. So those are a big one for me.
Obviously any row.
Yeah.
Any row, a seated row is a great exercise. Bent over rows with either a barbell or a dumbbell. You can also, if you're worried about the lower back strength a little bit, you can also do it supported on like a bench or something like that.
Or like a chest supported row. So if I'm on an inclined bench, face down here, and then having one dumbbell on each side and rowing like that takes a lot of the stress off the lower back.
Absolutely. And then obviously one of the most important exercises I feel are pull-ups and lat pull-downs, obviously. Pull-ups just in general are one of the most beneficial exercises you can do because there aren't many other exercises where you're just pulling up your weight, and either like to go wide grip or neutral grip has a lot of benefits for the upper back muscles as well. And another one of our personal favorites, farmer carries for sure.
Farmer carries, love
Farmer carries, just walking with two dumbbells with perfect posture. I like to kind of explain farmer carries in a way like carrying groceries. So walking with perfect posture, keeping them away from your body, and just walking at the distance around the gym or outside or wherever you're doing your workout for sure. So
it's also great for grip strength too. If you find that, like, let's say you're doing pull-ups and a limiting factor is the fact that you can't hold yourself up there, doing things like farmer carries can help strengthen that grip strength and can translate over to your pull-ups. Just a little side note.
Yeah, and I found that alongside of the physical benefits of having good posture and having that strong back, it also goes a long way with confidence. So I know a lot of the times if you see someone who's in a bad mood or they may lack confidence, they have that posture. And once I've found a lot of people that I've trained that have had bad posture, and if we make that an emphasis of their program, you'll start to see that noticeable difference, and that'll also reflect in their confidence, in their mood, and just overall way of living. And it obviously has very big benefits for sure.
Yeah.
We see.
100%.
So let's talk a little bit about unilateral training and
Yeah.
what that means and why that's super beneficial.
Yeah, so unilateral strength training just means training, in super simple terms, training one side at a time. So doing things like, great example, a single arm row, you know, because you're going to have strength imbalances. You probably have
Most
strength
people do,
imbalances.
yeah.
Between your
Can't
two
help
sides.
it.
You're gonna have one stronger arm, one weaker arm, one stronger side, one weaker side, and just isolating that by doing one arm or one side at a time can just be really helpful in strengthening the movement, strengthening that side, and creating more of a balanced physique and just balance in your strength training overall.
Yeah, like for example, say I have a client who had a knee injury in their right knee. So that right knee is obviously going to be a little bit weaker. So if we're doing a typical squat with both feet on the ground, that right side might need, you might actually be using your left side to compensate for that right side. So to eliminate that, we want to do a split squat where you're forcing both legs to do an equal amount of work so that they don't have time, they don't have the capacity to cheat and kind of putting that stress on the same leg. And also, doing unilateral movements have huge benefits for your core as well.
Yeah.
So making yourself unstable, putting yourself in an unstable position tends to make you engage your core and focus on just your overall body composition more and your body positioning more. And it's just it keeps you kind of more focused as well.
Yeah, because you have to pay attention a lot more, right? Like if you're standing on one leg doing a one-legged squat to a bench, it's going to require a lot more core strength, a lot more balance, a lot more focus than just doing regular standard squat. That's another great example of using some form of unilateral strength training.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially I find that a lot of our clients, even if they are very experienced in the gym, unilateral movements are not something that they've experienced with in the past. So if you've never experimented with unilateral movements and you add those into your programming, they will make a world of difference. You will see an explosion in your whatever results or whatever goals you're going for. Switching up your programming in that way will just lead to a world of new results. And also I find that unilateral movements are a lot more functional than we may think, because there aren't many times in life where you're doing something with both feet on the ground. They're oftentimes walking.
Yeah,
If
or
you were
stepping up on a box.
exactly
Like,
stepping out of a box.
or a big, I don't know, you're going hiking and you step up onto a large rock or something.
Anything in life is very rarely on both feet or both arms. So let's say, okay, walking with a couch. Say you're moving and you're carrying a couch. You're taking those steps. You're very rarely like this unless it's the lifting phase, but you have to be comfortable
The rest of it is
being on that one leg and being
100%.
able to engage in your balance, engaging your core. So I can't speak highly enough about unilateral movements. So let's talk about a couple of our favorites. I know you mentioned the row.
Like a single arm row, a single leg squat to a
Absolutely.
box. You could, if that's a little too challenging and you have access to like a leg press or something, that's a great modification, is doing like a single leg press.
Step ups are an excellent
great.
job. Finding a nice step or even a set of stairs if you're at home. Stepping up, I like to add the knee drive in to work on that balance and core engagement a little bit for sure. And then pretty much any exercise that you can do with both limbs, you can do with one, especially if you have a dumbbell or even just body weight. So
Yeah, dumbbells are super helpful with this because you can
single arm chest press, single arm overhead press,
single arm bicep curls, you know, doing like alternating versus two at the same time.
Absolutely.
And even with triceps, you know, doing a single arm tricep extension too, so.
Yeah, no, the possibilities are definitely endless with unilateral training. I promise you, you will see outstanding results if you choose to add that in. So you want to talk a little bit about that last topic that we had, some stuff to do at home if you can't necessarily get to the gym, some stretches and like body weight exercises that you might be able to engage in at home.
Yeah, and especially because some people are still not comfortable going into a gym, and some people maybe don't even have access to a gym yet.
Yeah.
And some places are a little bit more shut down than where we are right now. Some exercises, some stretches you can do at home is, you know, anything body weight. You can do push-ups on your toes, on your knees. You can elevate it to a bench. You can do squats, inchworms. I mean, really the possibilities are endless. You know, anything that you think you could do in the gym with a cable setup or, you know, weights, you can do at home with body weight and still have, you know, a great amount of success and still get a similar benefit out of it, you know?
Yeah, no, with some of my like remote clients, and I know you have a few remote clients as well, a lot of the movements that we've been enjoying doing is a lot of core stuff, obviously. You know, like lateral bear crawls. If you don't need a large amount of space to just go back and forth with bear crawls. Dead bugs are a great example to engage the core, strengthen the lower back, and actually strengthen your hips as well. For my clients and people with lower back issues, I know bird dogs are a really great exercise to engage the core, strengthen the hips and lower back for sure. Like she said, inchworms are great to strengthen the hamstrings and strengthen shoulders, and I find that
Lunges
also.
too.
Yeah, lunges, absolutely. So really just finding a good relationship with not having access to a gym as an excuse is a really important thing. Because I know having the pandemic is a strong excuse not to do stuff, especially if you're up north or the weather where you're at isn't as ideal as it is in sunny Florida. Just finding any excuse to get moving, get exercising is super valuable for your mood, energy, and just keeping your health where it needs to be for sure.
And it'll help you, you know, even doing something little, you know, maybe doing like 20 minutes of body weight squats, push-ups, and stuff like that will only help you when you are able to get back into a gym and get back to weights.
Yeah.
You know, you'll still have some of that muscle mass, you'll still have those movement patterns down so that when you get back into the gym, it's not so much of a relearning period, and there's a little less risk to injury because you've been exercising and because you've been moving. So.
Yeah, I know we've all been there. If we take a little bit too much time off from exercising, then it's just so hard to get back into. And you know that first like week, 2, 3 weeks will definitely be a lot tougher. So if you can slowly acclimate back into that, it'll only be more beneficial. So just finding that good relationship with exercise is kind of like the key of all of this, and just finding whatever modality works best for you for sure. So
Awesome.
anything else?
No, I think that was great.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to drop it in the bottom of this video or send us a DM, send us an email. You know, whatever works best for you works best for us. We're happy to help you however we can.
Yep, please tell your friends about it. Send us the link. We typically have been doing it Tuesday at 10:30.
Yeah.
So I think we can kind of assume that this will be the time that we're doing it, and we'd love to get more feedback. Thank you.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.